This is Ken Leone, VP of Marketing at Stock Rover, and in this video I'll provide a tour of Stock Rover Visuals. The Visuals feature is available for all subscription plans, including free. Before jumping in, let me show you where to navigate to Visuals. Visuals are located in the Insight panel. We can see the Insight panel in the All layout as shown here. The Insight panel can also be shown on its own layout. This allows us to use a bit more screen real estate. The Insight panel can also be detached in its own separate window by clicking here. Let's free up a bit of real estate here. The Insight panel has tabs running across the top where you can dive deep on a single equity and get the information necessary to thoroughly assess a company. We can get a company summary, news, analyst estimates, financial statements, and today's focus, visuals. So what are visuals? Well, in its simplest form, they're a combination of charts and tables that display key metrics for a stock or ETF. Today, we'll concentrate on Stock Rover's out-of-the-box visuals. They are set up to present relevant investment data in a clear and logical format. And you can change the visuals as you'd like to include the charts and tables that make the most sense for you and your investment style. Here we have 7 visuals available to us. Keep in mind, we can create our own as well, simply by going to the Visuals pull-down. Let's get started. The EPS tab delivers a clear and succinct picture of sales, earnings per share, and cash flow performance of a company over time. As we can see, it's both in graphical and tabular form. You can set the time period to 5 years, 10 years, or everything we've got. And you can change between quarterly and yearly displays. The tables are designed to make it very easy to compare quarters and years for sales, earnings per share, and cash flow. The table includes future estimate data, as does the chart. Dividends. The Dividend tab delivers everything you'd ever want to know about a company's dividend history. A chart shows the yearly progression of dividend payments, along with the price performance of the stock superimposed in the background. The calendar shows all the declaration and payment dates for dividend. Also included is upcoming dividend information, as well as information on the dividend rate the stock pays. Key dividend statistics are displayed including payout ratio, as well as its inverse, dividend coverage ratio. Also included are the dividend growth rates over different periods of time, so you can determine whether dividend growth is slowing. Monthly returns. It shows the seasonality of a stock, ETF, or fund. This section makes it easy to see if there's a pattern during different times of the year as to when an investment performs well or poorly. You can control the time frame to view from 1 year to over 10 years to everything we have. You can also control whether the monthly returns displayed are absolute or relative to the S&P 500 benchmark. There are 2 charts, the first showing the monthly returns in chronological order, and the second showing the average return per month across the years. Note the detail when hovering over a bar. Below the 2 charts is a table showing the monthly return in tabular form. The 3 tabs I've shown are fixed in their format. You can, however, change the order and even hide them. The remaining tabs are completely user configurable. For today's purposes, we'll stick to the default configuration. Just keep in mind, you can alter the content and format. You can rename, delete, and even create your own tabs. History provides a concise look at the historical performance of a company along many key metrics. We start with a chart that shows the sales, net income, and price to earnings ratio over time. This allows you to correlate the financial performance of the company over time with how the market is valuing it. The next three tables show key metrics from the income statement, balance sheet, and cash flow statement over time. The final table shows key profitability metrics and how they are changing over time. Technicals, as the name implies, is looking at technical indicators for a stock. And there are 5 charts followed by a table. The price chart shows the stock's performance over time along with its moving averages and the S&P 500 for comparison purposes. The chart also includes dividend payment information and max drawdown, which shows you the period of worst performance for the stock in the period. The next 3 charts show volume over time, moving average convergence divergence, and the money flow index. Bollinger Bands show the price along with a set of price envelope bands constructed from the 20-day moving average with a width of 2 standard deviations of price movement. The technical indicators table shows the key technicals of a selected stock and its peers, allowing you to readily compare the technical strength of a stock versus its peers. Speaking of peers, let's dive a little deeper. The Verse Peers tab contains extensive information about a stock versus its closest peers. And there are 5 separate tables and a chart. The first 3 tables show the stock compared to its peers along the key metrics and categories of valuation, growth, and fair value. The chart shows the performance of the stock versus the S&P 500, its industry, and its sector. Note that by clicking on any of the legend labels, for example S&P 500, the corresponding chart line can be flattened so you can see the performance relative to the baseline. Clicking again toggles it back. The Verse Industry tab shows key information about the stock versus its industry and versus the S&P 500 in a tabular form that covers risk and return, growth, profitability, and dividends. As you can see, visuals deliver an enormous amount of useful information in a clear and concise format. It's really as simple as selecting the appropriate tab. There's no heavy lifting required. Also, as we'll see in a subsequent video, you can change the visuals to make them exactly what you want, enabling you to have your go-to sets of charts and tables at the ready.